Hi and welcome back to Classic MGB. Now, thanks to you, our viewers, the famous MGB Owners video was one of the most popular on the channel. If you haven't watched it yet, there's a link in the description. The video prompted loads of comments suggesting people we'd missed, so we thought we'd better do a follow-up. So here we go with another 10 famous MGB owners. Dame Emma Thompson is probably one of the most famous actresses, and this is reflected in her impressive list of credits, including Men in Black, the Harry Potter series, Love Actually, Nanny McPhee, as well as Saving Mr. Banks. Her acting began while studying at Cambridge as she became the first female member of the prestigious Footlights troupe. We're not sure why this image was taken, but it could be some sort of advertising. If you know more, then let us know. Our next famous MGB owner has 11 Grammys, 3 American Music Awards, and a host of gold, platinum, and multi-platinum albums to her credit. Linda Ronstadt is arguably one of the most famous country musicians and probably one of the richest. It's believed that this photo was taken in 1975 in Malibu. I wonder what became of the car. Chris Barrie is a British sitcom actor and probably best known for the roles of Rimmer in Red Dwarf and Gordon Brittas in the British Empire. Less well known though is that he was responsible for many of the voices on the satirical puppet show Spitting Image. He is a confirmed petrolhead and was even a team captain in a BBC show of the same name. Chris owns an MGB GT and is pictured here visiting the MG Car Club in Abingdon in 2017. Our next famous MGB owner is probably less famous than his footballing father and pop star mother, although we're guessing the car may have been bought by one of them. Brooklyn Beckham, David and Victoria Beckham's son, is pictured here driving a very nice roadster, we think in London. Our next famous owner is another who has a family member that is more famous than they are. Whilst pretty much everyone will have heard of Lewis Hamilton, the multiple Formula One world champion, fewer will have heard of the man that worked 3 jobs to help Lewis achieve his goals, his father, Anthony Hamilton. Anthony has a lovely MGC that was used for one of the parade laps of the British Grand Prix a few years ago. Anthony bought the car from the biggest MGB dealer in the UK, Former Glory. We've made a video about them and there's a link in the description if you'd like to watch that one. Before we move on, a quick word of thanks to everyone that supported the channel by liking our videos and of course subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, it'd be great if you could, and also click on the bell for notifications so you'll know the minute we upload new content. Okay, back to the countdown. Sally Field has received 2 Academy Awards, 2 Golden Globes and 3 Emmys, and has starred in popular movies including Mrs. Doubtfire and Forrest Gump. She had a relationship with Burt Reynolds, her co-star in that well-known car film, and whilst her MGB was a long way from the Trans Am in Smokey and the Bandit, judging by the look on her face, she loved her MGB. Whilst arguably Prince, now King Charles, is the most famous person that owned an MGB, well, a C actually, his cousin Lord Linley was also a fan of the marque. We couldn't find a picture of Lord Linley driving his MGB though, but he did open the new offices of the MG Owners Club in 1982, and is pictured here with one of the club's founders, Roche Bentley. One of the saddest MGB stories is that of Steve Prefontaine. Steve, or Pre as he was commonly known, was a long-distance runner who set American records at every distance from 2,000 to 10,000 metres, 7 in all, and competed in the 1972 Olympics. He became arguably the greatest distance runner in United States history and was the first athlete to get paid for wearing Nike shoes. Sadly, on the 30th of May 1975, returning from a party, Steve crashed his 1973 MGB into a wall and was tragically killed aged just 24. There can't be many MGB owners that were kidnapped and held captive for 4 years. Terry Waite, or more properly Sir Terence Waite, KCMG CBE, is one such owner. In 1987, as an envoy to the Archbishop of Canterbury, he travelled to Lebanon to try to secure the release of 4 hostages, leaving his beloved MGB Roadster in the garage. Following his release 4 years later, his MGB was virtually a wreck. Luckily, the MG Car Club stepped in and restored the car for him and presented it to him in a special ceremony reportedly seen by over 400 million people worldwide. Terry is quoted as saying, "It was thinking about the MG that helped keep me going through those dark days of 4 years alone, not seeing another human face." So we come to our number 1, and whilst these things are always a bit subjective, our final famous MGB owner is one of the stars of Top Gear and more recently Amazon's Grand Tour, Richard Hammond. One of the last cars Richard drove on Top Gear was an MGB-GT, and after filming he decided to buy the car. He's since set up a classic car restoration business called The Smallest Cog, which features in his latest Discovery Plus series, Richard Hammond's Workshop. The MGB-GT is at the centre of the show, as it's been repurposed and now races in classic events under the Smallest Cog branding, with Richard as the team manager. We're hoping to do a detailed video on that car soon, and we were lucky enough to catch up with Richard at Castle Combe Circuit, so asked him what was so special about the MGB.
They don't blow the world away, but when you're in it and using it, it's just right, it does its job well, and that is one.
So that's it. Another 10 famous MGB owners, and a big thank you to all the viewers that made suggestions for this follow-up. Of course, if you know of other famous MGB owners that we haven't mentioned, then please let us know in the comments, and we might even do another follow-up. As always, thanks for watching and take care.